Hello everyone, welcome back, and it's time once again to talk some comics. I have my tribute here to Jim Comics. 3 comics, although I'm using new comics. I'm not digging through my boxes and pulling out new books. But yeah, we're going to go through this week's comics, and then we'll look at what is coming out this coming week, and kind of my thoughts and what I'm looking to pick up and go from there. Let's start off today with going over independent books, as always. Just let me get them sorted out here a little bit. Okay, man, pretty big week for independents, to be honest. Let's start with this one. This is called Almighty from Image, and this one I haven't actually read yet. I did hear a couple of reviews on it, and it's all action, not much dialogue, not much character building. I'm going to read this one, and I'll with that in mind, and hopefully with the next issues or whatever that are coming out, they kind of flesh the story out a little bit as far as the characters and that kind of thing, because they opened it up with just pure action from what I understand. But that's okay. We'll pick up number 2 and see what's going on with that. Okay. New one from Dark Horse, Where Monsters Lie. And I read this, and this one was pretty messed up. A community of serial killers. Yeah, pretty interesting. Interesting stuff. They have to follow guidelines to stay in the community. They have a kill quota. Yeah, it's really kind of messed up. It was cool. It was interesting. I'm definitely going to keep picking it up and read for, continue to read on it. But yeah, very weird and interesting. Okay. Boom Studios continues with The Approach, and this one picked up quite a bit, and a lot happened in this one. This has been a pretty slow burn with this book, and now with this episode, with this this issue, it really kind of hit on a couple plot points. What's going on with this monster? It's actually in a cocoon state type thing, and the old creepy lady has been waiting for this monster to show up forever, and they decide, Mac, I like Mac, he decides that they need to just blow this thing sky high. And then I'm not going to give any more away. This has been a really good read. I've really enjoyed this book, so I do recommend that one right there. Alright, here Image Comics put out, under the Mad Ghost imprint, which I believe is Jeff Johns' imprint, under Image. This is Blood Tree number 1. And this is a total detective story. It's a slow burn story. You are kind of dumped into this detective, and that's his partner. They're kind of life where they're, it picks up immediately. A body falls from a building or whatever with wings attached, surgically attached. So someone's making some, people look like angels for some reason, and then pushing them off of buildings or whatever. So, but I think they're either unconscious, incapacitated, or whatever before they're being pushed, because there's never no screams heard or nothing like that. They just fall from the sky. Anyway, this issue is all about detective work, asking questions, visiting the family type of stuff. So if you're one of those people that are not story driven, I like story driven stuff. I don't need 1,000 fights in a book for it to be good. I hear that all the time when I watch reviews. Of course I watch YouTube reviews and stuff, and people will give bad reviews on a book because there's not enough action, and I'm like, to me that's like, God, how old are you? You know, you have to have a fight every panel to recommend a book. Just yeah, I don't understand that one, but I like this. I like detective stories. So yeah, I would recommend this book. This one's getting hammered on the reviews, but I liked it. I would recommend it if you like detective type stories, you like mystery or intrigue or suspense or anything like that, or trying to figure out something before it's revealed. This is a pretty good book. Okay, from Ablaze Media, we have Children of the Black Sun #2. And when I read #1, I liked the story, but I wasn't crazy about the art. Now with this issue, the art isn't even a factor. I love this story. This story is dark. It's original. It's creepy. And it just makes me want to read the next issue right away. So this is a solid recommend. This book is really good. Okay, yeah. So I totally, completely recommend Children of the Black Sun. And on to Marvel. I don't have any DC today. Not a DC book. We'll start off with one I did not read. And I probably will read this at some point. It just wasn't very high on my list. Venom #16. So I don't have an opinion. I've liked Venom. I've liked this series, so it's not that I don't want to read it, I just haven't. Okay? And here we have 2 copies I picked up of Miles Morales Spider-Man #3. Okay, and this one started off with a origin of Rabble, and I really was digging and enjoying her story. But where this one kind of went off the rails to me is her motivations for her villainy, if you will. Why she's doing what she's doing came off to me as completely lame. Her dad said that, you know, you should put your talents to real use. He mentioned her going to the Brooklyn Academy or whatever, the Brooklyn Institute that Miles went to, and her and Miles were, and this was something that kind of was jarring to me. There's a raffle to get into this place. You don't get in on merit. That to me sounds weird. Anyway, Miles got drawn to go into this program instead of her, and she's jealous, or thinks that he got over on her or something, so now she's mad at him and going after him. I found that really kind of flimsy as a reason to turn villainy, to turn to a villain. My opinion. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, other than that, I don't have too much gripe about it, but that just was like, what? That just didn't add up too much to me. So anyway, yeah, that's Miles Morales. Miles Morales. Another one that I have not read yet, but I thoroughly am looking forward to reading this one. This is Moon Knight #20. And I got nothing to say about it, although I am looking forward to it. completely. Another one that I have not read, and I've got over here, is Silver Surfer Ghost Light #1. I haven't read this one yet. I've heard kind of mixed reviews, so I'm going to read it and make my own opinion. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm always looking forward to reading an introduction of a new character. And the Ghost Light is a new character, so. Okay. Let's talk Santa Staros. I'm a sucker for Star Wars stuff, so I was anxious to read this one. It was the first one I read this week. And I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good story. I liked the dynamic with her family. And the surprise that her cousin, or I believe it's her cousin, actually married an an imperial officer and is pregnant and he's a jerk, but he's all about her. It's kind of strange. It's a little weird. But I liked it. I'll definitely read the story through, for sure. This one I have not read. Dark Web Finale. Yeah, I've been kind of putting that one off because that one might be tough to get through for me because I have not loved Dark Web. Yeah, no opinion. No opinion yet. All right, let's talk about the final book that I picked up from Marvel. And this one, goodness gracious, this one is a total stinker. This is one of the worst books I've read in a long time. I'm going to pull up, I got some notes. I want to have some notes pulled up for this. Okay. This is Bloodline, Daughter of Blade, and I picked up 2 copies of this stinker because I'm like, yeah, this is a introduction, not a first appearance, but first solo story of a new character that they're probably going to want to push. So yeah, picked that up. And boy, this book was bad. B-A-D, all caps, bad. I'm reading this, and Brielle, it starts off with Brielle, Daughter of Blade, young, and she's all about sports. She's very active in extracurriculars at school and stuff. And then we kind of have a time jump, and Brielle is dropping out of all of her extracurriculars. And typically, this is well known if you have kids. I have 3. I've raised 3 kids. Whenever children start dropping out of stuff in school and kind of isolating, there can be problems with that. There can be something going on. So Brielle drops out of stuff in school, and the principal or the guidance counselors contact Brielle's mother, Saffron, and want to, sit down with her and Brielle and talk about it. And so the guidance counselor brings up his concerns, like she might be going through something, there might be a problem or whatever. And Brielle is being snappy towards the guy, which is typical teenager stuff. Then the mother, who you would think would have an adult conversation with this school official, starts lashing out at him, and I can hear him get around to what my daughter did wrong if you're not talking over him. So she's like, she didn't do anything wrong. She's like all over this guy. She didn't do anything wrong. Why are you calling me and bugging me? She said, you asked me to come here immediately after my shift at the hospital, so it must be serious. But her grades haven't dropped, have they? And he's like, no. No fights? No. So she's a little loud. She isn't playing sports anymore. Do I have that right? And he's just like, I'm sure, but you understand that behavioral, things can be coming up from dropping out of stuff. And she's like, Brielle chose to stop her extracurriculars to focus more on her studies. I'm aware of my daughter's voice, and I tend to find she raises it when she's not being listened to. So they're being scolded for not listening to a 16-year-old. Now, unless you're about to tell me that she's in danger academically or otherwise, I think we're done. And then as she's leaving, she's like, come on, Bree, I rushed over here for this nonsense, so I haven't eaten since breakfast. So that's nonsense. The school shows concern for her daughter, and that's nonsense. And I also find it extremely ironic that in this panel, Mom is saying, well, there isn't anything I should be worried about, is there? You're not on drugs or you're not pregnant, are you? So she shows some concern now when that's all the school was doing in the first place, is showing concern. So yeah, this is absolute garbage. And they're sitting, later on, they're talking, her and Brielle, Brielle and her mother. And I know it's a good school, but sometimes I swear they call parents for no reason. And Brielle says, no, not all parents, Mom. They'll bother you or Jaden's folks or Becca's uncle, but not everyone. I'm like, what? Not everyone? More nonsense. So, yeah. Garbage. Okay. So let's take a look at what is coming out this week. And we'll start by looking at some independents. Okay? First we have from Blood Moon. These are a couple that I just seen that I thought looked awesome. Blood Moon Comics. This one is called Northern Blood, and this cover is awesome. It kind of reminds me of Skyrim, the video game. Yeah, that one looks really super cool. So if I might have to order that, but I kind of do want that. My LCS is not going to order this book. Another one from Blood Moon that I thought looked kind of cool is called Stray Sheep. And this one is about a, real life video game survival type stuff. Having to play games to deadly games, and if you survive, you get some kind of prize. I don't know. It just sounded intriguing to me. And moving on, Boom Studios, Harrower. And just kind of a typical, in Harrow, New York, all the kids talk of this boogeyman who is the Harrower, and chaos ensues, I suppose. Sounds kind of cool. I don't know. We'll see. Dark Horse Comics had this book coming out called Space Job, which I just found kind of interesting. It's kind of a knockoff Star Trek. So who knows? And DC Comics has a few out this week, as opposed to this week where I didn't get anything. This is Batman 132, and the 131 wasn't great, really. It was okay. So I don't know. We'll see where this one goes. Awesome cover. Second print of Batman Spawn is out from DC. It's just a second printing. I figured I'd give that a pickup if my LCS orders it. If not, no big deal. Flash 792 just continues the Minute War, which has been pretty cool. So yeah, I'm interested in that one. Lazarus Planet, Evolution, Next Evolution. This is a one-shot. It's in the whole Lazarus Planet thing. And this one, I believe, touts the first appearance of a character called Vigil. So I'll definitely be checking that one out. From Image Comics, we have a new #1 called Monarch. And the only thing, I mean, it's a #1, so I usually will give #1s a shot. And this one has a pretty good creative team. So yeah, I'll probably end up picking this one up. This is Rodney Barnes and Alex Lins. Yeah, creatives. So we'll see. Image is out with Spawn. I do not love this cover. This is cover A. Spawn looks, that don't look like Spawn. I don't know. It's weird. But Spawn is a good book, so I always buy Spawn, so I'll be picking that up. Over at Marvel, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 19. And it is, you know, starting its own thing now, maybe. Maybe now we'll get into something regarding Spider-Man that is more organic to the creators. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with Spider-Man now. And this is a Black Cat and Spider-Man story, and Black Cat is one of my she is my favorite. My favorite femme fatale over at Marvel, for sure. My favorite female character is Black Cat, so she's on the cover. I'm definitely in on that one. And I'm liking that Peter and Felicia are kind of a thing, and I like that. So yeah, I'm interested in checking out where that goes. Marvel is putting out the Avengers #8 facsimile. This is the closest I'm going to get to owning the first appearance of Kang, so if my LCS has this, I will pick it up. And Black Panther 14 is out, and I've enjoyed Black Panther the whole way through, so. And it's only got 15 issues now. They're canceled. This one's canceled, or it's ending, or however they want to say it, after issue 15. So I think that the John Ridley run of Black Panther has really been pretty good. Readable, very readable, as opposed to a lot of other garbage. So, yeah, Black Panther 14. And Ghost Rider has been awesome. So this is Ghost Rider 11. No brainer, picking that one up and reading it. And this is whole Danny Ketch type thing, where at the end of episode 10, or issue 10, Danny Ketch was being messed with somehow by some government entity. So we now have Danny Ketch coming after Johnny Blaze? Who knows? I don't know. I'm very interested in seeing what happens here. And Gold Goblin has been good the whole way through so far. I've really enjoyed the Gold Goblin. This is number 4, which is out, and I expect this one to be good as well. Joe Fixit is out with number 2. I did pick up number 1. I'm not the hugest Joe Fixit fan. I'm on the fence on this one. This will be a game time decision whether I pick this up or not. It's just, you know, nothing against it. It's just not really my thing. I like classic Hulk stories. Joe Fixit is like a Elseworlds type Hulk to me. I can't hardly get into it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll pick it up. Maybe. Who knows? Red Goblin, I'm looking forward to this one. Red Goblin number 1, Normie's story. So very highly anticipated. Really looking forward to this. And I'm really looking forward to this as well. This is Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants number 1. This is 10 years in the Sinister timeline. So Mars has been destroyed, and Storm is pissed and wants revenge and everything. Storm is like the only one that Sinister couldn't tamper with in the whole Resurrection Protocol type thing, if you read Sins of Sinister, which was excellent. This is just the next step in the Sins of Sinister story. So yeah, Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants, for sure. In Star Wars, Hidden Empire #3 is out. And I've kind of been lukewarm to this one, but it is Star Wars. I'm interested in everything Star Wars right now that is the kind of, well, it's all canon. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in all the Star Wars stuff, especially the High Republic stuff, because that's what's going to be hitting live action next, is the High Republic stuff. So I'm really, really into all of that, which is right here, is the High Republic #5. So I'm really looking forward to this one. This is an oddball from Sumerian Comics. This is obviously a very independent, and it's called How I Became a Shoplifter, and I thought the synopsis was kind of funny because when I was younger, I did some dumb stuff. And this is basically tales of buffoonery and beer runs and ripping off beer and stuff like that. And we've all had stories like that, I think. So I just found it kind of comical and interesting. And if my LCS has this, I'll probably pick it up. I don't think I'll seek it out, but if it's on the rack, I'll probably pick it up. And from Whatnot Publishing, we have Exiled by Wesley Snipes, and it's kind of a Blade Runner meets Punisher, maybe. I don't know. It looks kind of interesting, and why not? So yeah, we'll check this one out. That's really all I got today. So that is everything. Yeah, we'll be looking for a lot of comic books this week. This is going to be a huge week, guys. So get your wallets ready. And goodness gracious, Lord have mercy, stay away from this turd. This book is brutal. Brutally stupid. Alright, that's it. And see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. And enjoy your comics. Bye for now.